Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who ruled well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is, oh boy, they say they are going back to the moon. Right, and that's exactly what these devils have said. So let me play the video.
And sexual. Now, as millions of Americans are having their health care ripped away, as millions of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, unsure if they'll be able to pay their rent, can't afford education, can't afford a basic quality of standard of living at all right now. Treasury Secretary Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced a new initiative that they're very much focused on. We are going to have long-term stays on the south pole of the moon to extract the fission power there. Okay, Sean. Okay. Sure, Jan. Play this clip.
But explain the moon, why you believe you can and the United States can beat China back to the moon. You say you want to start a base on the moon?
Yeah, we do. So first off, we go back. We're going to go back at the first part of next year. 4 astronauts going out to the moon and around it and coming back. Right. That's the first time in 54 years we will have done that. That's Artemis 2. Artemis 3, a little over a year and a half after that, we're going back to the moon and going to land. At the south pole of the moon, you have ice. Ice is water. Ice is oxygen. Ice is life. So if we go to the south pole of the moon, we can set up a base. We want to put in fission power, and we think we can have long-term stays on the south pole of the moon.
While that was taking place,
They tried this. The most high Helens that was by basically opening the floodgates of the truth. Right. This is Obadiah 1:1. It says the vision of Obadiah does say the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So they set their nest among the stars the moment they went into space. And the Most High brought them down. Right? It says, when did America go? I asked Google, when did America go to the moon? Their good old AI overview said America first landed humans on the moon on July 20th, 1969, which is a lie. It says during the Apollo 11 mission, the scriptures say the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray, speaking lies as soon as they be born. Right? But Revelations 20, verse 7 says they will go out to deceive the nations. And that's exactly what they did. They deceived the nations into making them believe, the bullshit. It says Neil Armstrong became the first person to walk on the moon, followed by Buzz Aldrin. And it's been massive reports coming out regarding Mars. They found Mars somewhere in Las Vegas. Just they're cautioning the videos of the moon landing. They said, how did you record the landing of the moon? So what did you do? You landed and then you set the camera down on the moon and then flew back up and landed again to get that perfect shot. So it's a bunch of bullshit. It says the date of landing was July 20th, 1969, right around when the Most High started to bring his levels down. How? Because of the truth. Right? This is Ezekiel 37. And we're gonna get verse 4 says again, he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O you dry bones, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Now these dry bones are talking about the Israelites. The Israelites who they didn't know who they were. Pursuant to Jeremiah chapter 17, around verse 4, we discontinued from our heritage. We didn't know who we were. And that's also part of the deception that these devils did to us, the Israelites, the people, right? We didn't know who we were, and they deceive the nations and making them to believe that those cosplayers over in the land of Israel currently are the Israelites, which they're not. We are, right? It says, so we're dry bones. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Shai unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Right? And that breath is the wisdom, understanding, and ultimately the Holy Spirit. All right. It says, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover your skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I'm the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Shai. And that's exactly what we know. We know our power now. We know his name, right? We know who we are. We didn't know before. Before we was trying to do like gathering together amongst ourselves and do these different things, build up communities, Black Wall Street, these different things, to try to make something of ourselves after slavery, right? It says, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in it. So this was the beginning of us forming. Like I said, whatever, the marching, the Black Panthers, the Black Wall Street, however you want to get it, however you want to say it. That was just us trying to come together as a people. But we didn't have the understanding of what we really was involved in as a people, right? Because all this thing has been pretty much laid out from the beginning of time. It was prophesied it would fall off and wake back up. And us, the elect, we didn't even know what we was really involved in. Elder Yashwamba goes into a lot. Your mom and your dad met together. They fucked to have you, right? And you're elect to Yahweh Bashmi Shai, and you have a whole purpose here on planet Earth. It says, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Shai, come from the four winds of breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Right? And it's a spiritual army. The weapons our warfare are not carnal, but we're chanting down the Babylon the Great through the prophecies mentioned in the scriptures, because we are the people, and that's exactly what is bringing down these devils today. Right? And that's why they're moving on forward, trying to censor the word. This Revelations 11:11, right? It says, and after 3 days and a half, right, roughly during the 50-year period, so that's slavery and all of that. But to this point now, it says the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them. So it's going back to Ezekiel 37, where we got the full understanding of who we were, right, through the spirit. Even some dudes rolled up in $1 billion suits, some Edomites rolled up on apostles in a limousine, hopped out in dire straits, talking about we paid billions of dollars so you won't have this information. And that's their own tongue falling upon themselves. Any brother, anybody got that video, you can throw that thing in the comment section or whatever. But they rolled up on apostles and said, we paid billions of dollars so you won't find this truth out. Right. And if it, and that video's there, and that's damning to these devils, So yeah, they caused this to happen. And fear was on them. They sped off. Revelations 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So that's how the Most High Yahweh Bashmi Shai started to bring down these devils, because the prophets are back. The Israelites are back. And they're trying to do it again, basically. But they can't. And pretty much that's the message. This is Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Turn from him, that he may rest till he shall accomplish as an hireling his day. For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease. Though the root thereof wax old in the earth, and the stalk thereof die in the ground, yet through the scent of water it will bud and bring forth boughs like a plant. But man dieth and wasteth away, yet man giveth up the ghost, and where is he? As the waters fell from the sea, and the flood decayeth and drieth up, so man lieth down and riseth not till the heavens be no more. They shall not wake nor be raised out of their sleep. And basically that's the same for Esau. Ain't no going back. If he did try to go back, which he can't, the Most High did. We're at the end, basically. The Most High is about to rain down living hell on him, right? You grab some of this 51. See, Babylon judged for sins against Israel. This is Jeremiah 51:27. It says, "Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ariat, Minia, and Ashkenaz, appoint captain." And that goes into Ezekiel chapter 38, basically with Russia, and the many people joined unto Russia, coming against Babylon the Great, which is America. And we can see that happen in these last days, right? And it just so happened that they're talking about war with Iran is imminent. They say before Thanksgiving, which, we don't do the dates or whatever the case may be, but we know pursuant to Revelations 12 and 12 that this devil has a very short time, right? And he's going to come down with great wrath. And what you have now is Israel. Obviously, this man is the president of the world. You would say Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is the president of the world, pretty much, because the world thought they were listening to America when really they're listening to whoever controls America. And that's the bank and elites, the 1948ers, okay? And he is wanted by the world according to their laws that he set up, their international laws, their standards and whatnot. He's wanted. So peace having for him is not going to go well because everyone wants, him out the way, basically. Even his own people. They freed the hostages, and they said, "Benjamin Netanyahu," and the crowd booed his ass. All right. So war is imminent, and obviously the scripture says it's going to happen. But we can only listen to say, whatever, however they're saying it, however they, think they're going to proceed or whatnot, but we know it's going to happen, so, we got Germany, Armenia, Turkey, I believe here. These just a few, to name a few. Let me double check to make sure on this Turkey one. Which these things will happen. They're going to happen. You can already see it playing out behind the scenes. Yes, Turkey, Germany, and Armenia, right? So we got Turkey, Armenia, and Germany here. And then it says appoint a captain against her. The captain is Russia. All right. Verse 28 says, prepare against her the nations with the king of the Medes. The Medes goes into the Russians. All right. And the captains thereof and all the rulers thereof and all the land of his dominion. And just what happened that he's taking some of Ukraine. So Ukraine gonna be involved in helping Russia too. Right. It says, and the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord Yahweh Bashmel shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon desolation without inhabitant. And it goes into it, of course. But that's the point. All the purposes against Babylon will happen, just like Obadiah 1:1 says, the moment you set your nest upon the stars, that's what I bring you down. And the Israelites go back up to who they are. Right now, these devils are saying that they're going to the moon again, which is a major distraction. Right. And as you can see, that's why I tell you, oh boy, they're throwing everything out there to keep the people just, confused and, a lot happening. Let me grab this one. It says Jeremiah 51 and 53. It says, though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength. And that goes into the satellites. And mind you, they just changed NASA into some type of spy agency or something like that, so they could just be going there to put more satellites up there or something, They definitely not going to the moon though. and that goes into their beast system too, so that if that is the case, Job 20 says, in the fullness of their sufficiency they shall be disgraced, every hand of the wicked shall come upon them, and when they're about to fill their belly, the Most High Yahweh Bashmel shall basically cast them down. So this is them also, trying to accomplish that MOTB system, right? Palantir and all of that. They're trying to put more satellites up there. So the Most High is definitely going to bring them down. Jeremiah 51 and 53 says, though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmel. So the Most High is going to send spoilers, people to destroy Babylon the Great, to stop them in their tracks, right? And we already know who those people are. It It says, though Babylon reaches as high as the heavens and makes her fortification incredibly strong. So he's probably trying to go up there pursuant to Nahum 3. They're fortifying their positions. They're making a brickling, right? They're getting the defenses up. It says, though Babylon reaches as high as the heavens and make her fortifications incredibly strong, I will still send enemies to plunder her. I, the Lord Yahweh, Bashmal, shall have spoken. Right out of the Bible, right here. The Lord Yahweh, the God of all things, is speaking. This is what he's saying. And we, the prophets, are proclaiming what's to come. And that's why these devils are trembling and are afraid. Jeremiah 51:54, a sound of a cry coming from Babylon and great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans, because the Lord Yahweh, Bashmal, shall have spoiled Babylon and destroyed out of her the great voice, when her waves do roll like great waters, a noise of their voices uttered. Because the spoils has come upon her, even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken. Every one of their bows is broken, for the Lord Yahweh, Bashmal, shall recompenses, shall surely requite. Yeah, so the Most High, you know, the word don't go out void. It's going to accomplish where he sent it to do, right? And his purpose is that Babylon the Great will be destroyed. You know, so ultimately that's it. But, you know, major distraction for the sheeple, right? But last time they talked about going to space, the Most High woke us up. So hopefully, you know, this time now Yahweh Shai is on the way, you know. But of course, we're waiting for the MOTB. Jacob troubles and intensifying. Of course, World War III is imminent. All right. A Shalom soulful elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom. So, matter of fact, let me read this right here. So, just to confirm, America going back to the moon. AI overview again. It says yes. America is returning to the moon with NASA's Artemis program, which NASA is now some type of space spy agency type thing. It says, which aims to land astronauts and establish a long-term presence on the lunar surface. The upcoming Artemis 2 mission will send 4 astronauts, right, on a 10-day trip around the moon without landing. They can't get past the Van Allen belts. They've been saying that shit for the longest, you know. It says serving as a test flight for future landings, which are planned to begin with the Artemis 3 mission around 2027. It says long-term goal. The Artemis program aims to establish a sustainable presence on the moon for scientific discovery, economic opportunity, and to serve as a stepping stone for future missions to Mars. Yeah, and this is just out of the blue. They've been trying. You see Elon Musk launching, you know, multiple ships, spaceships, and nothing. Now all of a sudden he just, oh yeah, we're going back to the moon. It's easy, you know. Let's see what this talking about.
This is not just about planting flags. It is about
after the last human footsteps on moon, NASA is readying a manned mission aiming to return astronauts to the lunar surface. But behind this moment lies turbulence, delays, costs, and also questions about when humanity will finally touch lunar soil again.
the moon, silent, waiting. More than 50 years since Apollo astronauts last walked its dust. Now, NASA is preparing to send humans back. The mission, Artemis. Its target, the lunar South Pole, the region never before explored by astronauts. This is not just about planting flags, it is about discovery. Scientists believe the South Pole holds frozen water trapped in craters, untouched for billions of years. Water that could sustain astronauts. Water that could be split into hydrogen and oxygen to fuel rockets deeper into space. In short, the moon could be the launchpad to Mars. NASA is headed back to the moon, months sooner than originally planned. The first crewed flight in its Artemis program could make the trip around the moon and back as early as February. The crew of Artemis 2 will not land on the moon, but will be the first to travel beyond low Earth orbit since 1972. Artemis 3, currently planned for 2027, will involve a moon lander variant of SpaceX's Starship rocket. The multi-billion-dollar series of missions rivals a similar effort by China, which is aiming for a 2030 astronaut moon landing. The dream of walking on the moon again is alive. The clock is ticking, and the world watches to see if this new era will soar to new heights, or if it will be a race against time, money, and gravity itself. Bureau Report, Leon, World is One.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and
All right, there you go. You know, hey, Shalom to those select, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.